Hello YouTube here, it's Lisa Stade of the YouTube channels of Lisa Stade and Hitler Obsessed. I was taking a bit of a break here today from some of my history classes and stuff. My arm's kind of a bit tired there. You've seen the last videos, you mentioned that. But I was taking a bit of a break from some of my studies there, just to rest my arm and at least do something, useful instead of no sitting there sulking because of this. But I think today I'll do a bit of a video of maybe a bit of information. I'll do one about, I think, Hitler. We're gonna do something like that. In other words, kiss my channel goodbye. This might be the last of me you see. But okay. Well, to start out with, Hitler's childhood. He was born in Braunau am Inn in Austria on April 20th on 1889. Interesting how that's the day today, April 20th. And I'm on a college campus. Oh, the irony. How that one's gonna be. But he was born in a inn, or a hotel, like a hostel or whatever, by his mother Clara Hitler, who was actually Clara Poltz, who is probably most likely the niece or cousin of Hitler's father, who would actually technically be Clara Poltz, is an uncle, or older brother or whatever, Adolf Hitler, who actually came from a low-income peasant family. He actually ended up running away and trying to make his own living, supposedly. That's what Mein Kampf says, but, I don't think that book's full fact. I think Hitler's selling us something. Just a hunch on that one with him. But Adolf Hitler ended up running away and trying to, go into the job of a shoe cobbler or whatever. And eventually ended up going into the entrance exam for civil servant, getting pretty high ranking up there in civil servant in the government. So anyone who's worked in the government or knows someone that does that, it's insane. I actually have an aunt that works in our government as a diplomat, which would get interesting to describe Neville Chamberlain's job. I think he deserves a bit of sympathy, in my opinion, with the Hitler guy and the appeasement policy. There's my aunt, one of my aunts as an example there, whole position. But yeah, it's a pretty demanding job. Except a community college's website I go to here broke that aunt's back. Somehow that was the straw that broke the aunt's back. It's a diplomat. Can kiss babies and shake hands of dictators, keep world peace, but somehow a community college's website broke her back. Oh well. What was I saying? Oh, back to what I was saying about Adolf Hitler. So, yeah, Adolf Hitler did have 2 other marriages before marrying Clara Poltz, who is his niece. The Pope decided, the guy's pretty much on the verge of being, excommunicated because, yes, he was raised Catholic. Even though the backstory to that is Adolf Hitler could have had a Jewish family, but that was the guy that, I guess you could say knocked up his, the woman that would be his mother, who was also a house servant or maid servant, like a maid or whatever, housekeeper, working for a Jewish family. So a lot of terrible stuff there in that family led up. I guess you could say, I could understand what would lead up to Hitler being a thing. Because a lot of that stuff would carry on to Alois, even Hitler's life. But yeah, Hitler did live in fear that he did have a Jewish uncle because of, this so-called grandfather. That's the reason why his dad became a thing. But yeah, so Alois decided to marry Clara Poltz, who was also a family member and related to him. I was working for the Hitler family as, a housekeeper or servant or whatever. And he fell in love, had scandalous lifestyle. Wanted to know he was still married to another woman. And that's when the Pope thought, just you're on the verge of getting screwed over. So he ended up, but his wife did have some, I guess was bedridden for the rest of her days, I think from some kind of injury or whatever, sickness. I don't know if it was a stroke or whatever. Can't remember. But yet he was waiting for this woman to die so he could marry Clara, which that eventually happened. And Clara had, was it 5 or 6 other kids that all died in childbirth. And then she had Adolf. And then she had Paula, which was Hitler's younger sister, and then Edmund. Edmund ended up dying from, I think it wasn't meningitis. It was the measles. So the family members all came down with the measles. The thing that you get your MMR, the thing that everybody thought was causing autism, but no. Speaking of, vaccines and anti-vaxxers, they somehow think that the vaccine for the COVID and the booster causes that, so that argument will probably never die. Just get your vaccines. Just do it. Don't end up like Edmund Hitler. Yeah, the insanity of some people. But okay, so once Clara had, Hitler, Adolf Hitler, she had 5 or 6 or probably 4 at least kids that passed away in childbirth and died from SIDS or whatever. And so she ended up having being very affectionate, mushy gushy, lovey-dovey, overprotective, like a helicopter parent over Hitler. But his father was just an abusive, drunk, piece of work idiot. That did end up retiring from his job, getting a pension. All that went straight to the, local tavern because the guy was an abusive, drunk idiot. That, also Hitler had a stepson, too, named Alois Hitler, Jr., who actually ran away because he got tired of his father's just shitty treatment. And that's how Hitler ended up getting. Adolf Hitler got, pretty much the short end of the stick from Alois. And there was an interesting thing about Hitler wanting to be an artist. And yes, he did want to be an artist. I'm surprised how he actually came and told that to his abusive father. I don't know what you think at some point to say, oh, by the way, I'm going to come up to my deadbeat, abusive, drunk father and say, I want to be an artist, and totally everything's going to go fine. I don't know what Hitler was thinking. I hope that was just Mein Kampf lying to us again because of Hitler, but oh well. Maybe it was just, like most people in those homes, very low IQ. But also, an interesting thing, yes, speaking of education, Hitler did have pretty good grades, but they kind of slumped. But then he went on to, having the Third Reich make sure that a bunch of one-sided A's, F's look like A's. Because the grading system, I think, in Germany, Austria, same way Germany is, a 1 is like an F here in America. A 5 would be an A. Hitler had a string of 1s. So, nice one-sided A's. And I guess he had the whole system changed to say, 1's going to be an A and 5's going to be an F. Oh, Neil, if you don't like the guy so much, or you just don't like math, just let you know. I think maybe Hitler had, he had threes in math. So anyone who's like me or anyone else doesn't like math, he had all C's. He had all nice 70% or C. So he had lovely threes in that. You don't like the guy. I think a lot of us don't like math and fall in the same boat together. Not a good guy. But at least I can relate to him about C's now and how math is terrible. I hate it also. Don't you? So next I was gonna say is, Hitler's family members did move around several times because of his dad. And yes, he did live in fear that he thought when he went to school with the public school kids that he would be seen as a country bumpkin. Again, that is from Mein Kampf. And I don't know if that's true. I have a good feeling if his family members were abusive, drunks, and deadbeat losers. I mean, knowing that, being the heir of the eugenics, I wouldn't blame him for thinking that. Because yes, they would think that based on eugenics, it's low genes and get out of the gene pool, God forbid die. And yes, Hitler lived in fear that his family members did have diseases and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of inbreeding in the Hitler family. So I wouldn't blame Hitler for having that fear. That does cause a lot of terrible things in life to happen. A lot of terrible, was it physical, mental, neurological, this terrible stuff that could happen and to your health. So that's pretty terrible. So I guess I'll probably leave off here, and this is kind of part 1, and I'll probably continue on with part 2 a bit for you. I know this seems like kind of half-assed, pulled out my backside, so I apologize for that. But I'll still continue with this little thing here of Hitler for a little bit of info there. So this is Lisa Stayed here telling you to make sure to become a subscriber, like, share the videos, subscribe to my YouTube channels of Lisa Stayed and Hitler Obsessed. Hit the notification bell to all so you can see all my notifications. And thanks for everyone that has subscribed so far to my YouTube channel. And you can go to my Patreon and donate to my Patreon, become a patron. You can donate to my subscribe store. You can send me a friend request or message or both on my Facebook account at Lisa Stayed or my Facebook Messenger at Lisa Stayed. Make sure that, if you want to go to my social blade at Lisa Stayed, might give me some notifications, get my foot really in the door here on YouTube. And, you can also go to my BitChute.com. My BitChute account there on BitChute.com of Lisa Marie Stayed. That's one word, Lisa Marie Stayed. And now we'll just say bye now. Hopefully YouTube does not take this video down or just my whole channel down because of what it's about. Yay.